Hey guys, so as you know, I've been working on the bug engine and getting things together on it, getting together the tins and everything. And one thing that was bugging me was the distributor. It wasn't lining up the way that I knew it was supposed to. It just didn't look like it was doing its thing. So, well here, let me show you. So one of the things is with the distributor, when you're on number 1, it should be pointing in that little notch right there. And I've got the rotor pointing at that, but if you look at the engine on a Volkswagen, that should be pointing this way, and the condenser should not be this way. And so I thought what you have to do is you have to find number 1 on top dead center here by spinning the engine and watching for the notch on the pulley here. So as we spin the engine and we watch the valves, there's exhaust on number 1. And there's intake on number 1. And so now we got fuel in there, and if we watch the pulley, here comes the notch to number 1, top dead center. And hear the valves clicking there. And if we look at our rotor, it's pointing the right way now, but not at the notch in the distributor. So what that means is someone had this timed 90 degrees off. They didn't have the distributor spun in the right position. So we're going to spin the distributor in the right position. Just real easy. We're going to loosen up this bolt down here, and we're just going to spin it. I just need to get a 10mm socket, and we'll get that done. All right, so let's see if we can do this one-handed. Get in here. Yeah, piece of cake. It's loose. I just want to turn the distributor here. Come at left-handed and get that number 1 pointing there. I'm also going to look at the points and get them so that they're closed. Somewhere in there. So we got closed points, and we've got the rotor pointing at the notch, and we've got the cylinder at top dead center. So that should be fairly set, and now you can see the nice Bosch symbol on the front of the distributor, and you know, things are kind of out of the way. I guess maybe they did that because you've got some fuel lines here next to the condenser and makes the condenser easy to get out. I don't know. I'm going to do some of that stuff too, so I might be spinning this around a bit and changing things myself, but for now I got the distributor where it needs to be. You know, obviously you need a new distributor cap. This thing's got mud and all kinds of crap in it, and I've got a new one of those. Got some other parts. I'm also going to be addressing the oil cooler, and I added a piece right here, which is, oh crap, what's the name of that thing? It's known as another name too. I gotta look that up. Can't remember for the life of me. Oh, Hoover's bit. It's the Hoover's bit. A guy named Hoover was a big proponent of this piece, because if you don't have it on there, air can blow down past the cooler and not go through the cooler, and you end up overheating because you're not getting the oil cooled. And I need to put some other bits on the other bits of tin. We'll get to that here in just a minute. So I was taking apart the distributor. I was going to put new points and condenser on and that sort of thing, and you know, I've got it so I can kind of spin it around, get out the points and everything. Here's the condenser I took out, and oh, point bits there. There's some point bits, and there's some point bits, and I bought some parts that I thought were right, but that looks nothing like that. And the points are very different also. I put them already back in the box so I can send them back. But I got to looking at this, and I don't have an 009 distributor. I have an 010 distributor, which were in some early buses, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It actually was used kind of as a high performance distributor on some other engines, you know, early builds and things. But I just don't have the right parts for it. So I'm just going to put back together what I've got in here and get this kind of lined up. The timing is a little bit different when I get to that point. It's a little bit more advanced than an 009, so I'll need to set that. The other thing I'm doing is I'm working on the oil cooler here, and that tape that was on there, yeah, it was factory. There was foam there, so I had some insulation, door insulation I'm putting on there, and also on part of the doghouse. It's supposed to have some insulation on the tin here as well. That just keeps it all nice and tight, gets the air flowing through there right. And so I'll just keep putting this stuff back together, and maybe I can get this engine looking more like an engine tonight. Okay, we've been here before. I've had the car loaded up, driven 4 hours, ready to get the Beetle, and there was a family emergency. Couldn't get it. No one was around. So we're trying again this week. I've got everything loaded up again. We're going to drive to Albuquerque, and we're going to drag A 1971 bright orange Beetle back here 190 miles, and start putting stuff on it. Doing some repairs, there's some welding to do, quite a few other things. So there's going to be a lot coming up in this series. The engine is together as much as I can get it. I haven't started it yet. I'll make a video about that and see how well it runs. I know that's dumb. I did everything on the engine without actually seeing it run. I was told it runs, and it runs well, just smokes a little. And we already saw that there's it needs rings, it needs pistons basically, and jugs. So we'll change all that out too. I just wanted to get it together and do that. I'm going to rebuild this engine probably this winter, so I'll make a video series about that. And there's going to be a lot coming up on the Bug. So right now we're just getting the car loaded, and we're going to drive to Albuquerque tomorrow afternoon. Super excited. Just a little preview here. Going to be in another video.